we are. Hey everybody, it's Corey, Jay behind the boards. We're here at Mars. I'm pretty stoked today because this week, as some of you probably know, new Ableton 11 just came out, and so I'm gonna play around with new features because there's all kinds of new stuff about it. Some things that I've been waiting for a while, and some things I had no idea were coming. And some things I probably don't even know are here. I have a list pulled up over here of what's in store, and I have it all installed and finally got all the content running on my computer. So we're just gonna like dig in and see what's new in Live 11 Suite. Yeah. For the occasion, I've switched Ableton over to dark mode because Jay wanted to see what that looked like. But it's kind of nice on dark mode. It's nice and kind of refreshed. So like, it's always kind of interesting on an update. It's funny what they do and don't change. For those of you who use Ableton, you probably may have been through 1 or 2 updates or 3. I've been hanging out on Ableton for a long time at this point, so the interface hasn't changed too much, but there's a few things that really stick out to me like right away. I'm drawn immediately to the upper right to the updated CPU meter. Wow, we're going to talk about this first. This is really exciting. So the CPU meter is actually dynamically reflecting more so the true, it's still not a meter of your CPU usage. It's a meter of how much of the audio buffer your CPU can process before it runs out of time. But it's more dynamic and shows a more current, up-to-date view of how much CPU you're using. So you notice that it's idling for me at like 8% roughly. That seems pretty high. So it's definitely higher than I've observed Live 10 idling. I'm not surprised that it's a little more CPU hungry, but it might also just be more accurately reflecting the usage. And you can see if you click on it, you get, I don't know how easy that is to see for you all, but you can get a more detailed view of like the short spikes in usage, as well as, oh yeah, this cool new CPU overload light. So in addition to the disk overload light that we've seen before, there's now a big fat CPU overload light, which if you see us like do, thank you, Jay. That's very sweet of you to say. Whoever you are, stranger. Yeah, anyways, if you see me switch and load a new project or anything like that on the stream, you'll probably see the CPU overload meter pop on at some point. So there's a bunch of new devices here, and I will be honest with you, I haven't really tried any of them. So we're gonna explore this together. And there's a whole lot of new sounds too. I went through and updated all the packs, and there's a whole grip of them. Yeah, I've actually cleaned out some of my old packs. I had to make room for these on my hard drive. So I'm kind of down to the essential Ableton content, which now takes up about 100 gigs of space. This program just keeps getting bigger and bigger. But it's all these sounds, and a lot of these I don't use and could probably still get rid of. So like some of these new things, what are there? There's like Drone Lab. There's some like updates to a bunch of older effects. What are the other new ones? So it's inspired by nature. There's some new orchestral or like multi-sampled sounds. Kind of curious about those. Yeah, Spitfire audio sounds. There's a string quartet and some other things. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna like get into a couple of these real quick and just see what I can find. So let's see what's in Drone Labs. That sounds kind of interesting. Some instruments. Put my headphones on if I want to hear what's going on. Oh yeah, cool. So all these like presets for like creating drones. Oh, feedback and resonance. Okay, here let's see what these things do. So we're gonna. Oh, yeah, it doesn't like this folder anymore. So if y'all have Live 10 and install Live 11, like usually it imports all your settings. So you'll notice that if you've seen my setup before, like this all looks more or less like how I've had it before. But it's actually not quite updated to. I changed the name of my samples folder, and I changed it from all caps to caps and lowercase, and it really confused Ableton, but it seems to get it now. Oops, I don't want to rename you. I want to remove you. So I'm just gonna go find some rando drum loop, and we're gonna try a few of these audio effects on here, these racks and stuff. That's nice and clean and simple. I think it's good to demo this stuff like on, if you're trying to hear what an effect does, you don't want to feed it anything too crazy. So where was I? I was like in the packs, and I was going to check out what this Muck Maker, maybe let's see what Muck Maker does. So Muck Maker. Weird. What's going on in that thing? So, hey, so like here's something new. This is kind of quirky. So back here on the screen, it's even hard for me to see, but there's a bunch of new controls here on the side of these macro racks, because you can add now more macros or take them away. I want to unfold this device though. So yeah. So anyways, you can boom, 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 add up to 16 macros now, which is pretty neat. And you can reduce the number of them too. You can just have one big old macro. I really like this. You know, it's always been so ugly when you've had like just one or two macros, and like you've had to have like this giant thing full of empty things just to have it in there. Anyway, so I'm really excited about this. Oh yeah, and this other new thing. Hey, we're talking new stuff. So like macro variations. So what are these things? So you can like change presets for your macros and switch between them. Are those MIDI mappable? They are, I think. Anyways, that's hecka cool. I don't see any way to access that from push at the moment. I wonder if that's coming in an update or something like that. That'd be really handy. This is something that's been missing for a long time. It's just like some sort of preset settings. When I've done live sets, I've like had to like hack together these like Max for Live kind of solutions for it. And it's always been really wacky and not very effective. So that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, random. You can also randomize the settings in these, which is also fun. Pretty interesting. It's good quality of life improvements to the program. Anyways, I wanted to see what was going on in here. How it was making that crazy roll. Oh, it's a corpus effect, I think. And is this knob tuning? Yeah, it's messing with the tuning on corpus. And then the filter is, oh yeah. So it's the filter input and then the tuning of a corpus. So what corpus does, oh, they've updated this effect too. I'm finding all kinds of new stuff in here. So there's some quality settings in corpus, and it's just like kind of a new interface to bring it more in line with Ableton's modern looking plugins. Cool. So what this is doing, it's modifying this input thing. And it's got this big spike to like send a big low end boom through the plugin. Anyways, that's a weird deep dive, but hey, we found something new in there. Hey, while we're deep diving some new plugins, it looks like they did not give any love to grain delay, which is one of my favorite classic Ableton plugins, but they did update my least favorite plugins. Let's check these out on their own. because I was pretty stoked to see this. So Ableton's chorus effect has always been kind of weird to me. And I'm hoping that this change that they've made to it changes some of that. So now chorus is chorus ensemble. And I don't fully know what that means. So let's find out. This is why I've got info view open, and thank you, Jay, for putting my little view on the bottom right so we can read this together. We're going to all squint and dig into our screens. So here's the description of the 3 new modes of the chorus ensemble effect. So it's like classic is the normal time modulated delay signal. So the way a chorus effect works is it takes the copy of your sound and delays it, and then shifts how long it's delaying it to create this. Ooh, a warmth setting? Much needed. I always felt the chorus was kind of sterile feeling. Oh, low. Oh, man. So at extreme settings, it gets pretty wacky. Neat. So what are these other settings? So these other settings are new. So ensemble is 3 delayed signals with evenly split modulation offsets for richer and smoother sounds. Let's see if this sounds richer and smoother to your ears. A little much. So this isn't necessarily a traditional use for kind of a chorus effect. Like you might like see this more on like kind of like a pad kind of thing. Let me see if I find like a simple like piano sound so you can really hear it. This is dry. That's the dry sound. That sounds pretty affected to me. Doesn't sound. I want a piano that doesn't have chorus on it. Whoa, spooky loop. Okay. Yeah, that's a little too like fiddly. Let's do a funny thing. We're going to like. I just really want to hear something simple, something so simple. So we're gonna go into the sounds category. Check out the pianos. I think these have been updated. This looks like there's some new stuff in here too. Basic electric piano, and we're going to convert this to MIDI real quick. This seems faster. That's cool. Mute this track. This is great. Oh man, this is like the chorus plugin I always wanted. I've downloaded so many third-party ones. I just wanted it to do something normal, like you know, like Ableton's chorus plugin, like it's like a chorus in like the technical way that a chorus works, but it like never sounded like the way like a guitar pedal chorus effect sounded. I always like use something else. Like a common thing that I've reached for is this free one with Towel Chorus LX, which is a model of the Juno chorus, like which this works pretty well on just about anything. But now I think we can get a little closer. It still goes to an extreme place. And then there's like a built-in like saturation, little instant vibe maker here. So this is all really cool. The thing I'm actually most excited about though is the third setting, which is I have done so many stupid workarounds to get this effect. Vibrato. So this just modulates the pitch of a single thing. So that's too much, right? I'm noticing that you can't tempo sync this, which seems like a very odd oversight. Usually you can do that with their plugins. But they're not trying to get you to use this as a beat synced effect, which is why it only goes up to 15 hertz, I think. This is just like my favorite effect in the world. Like, I vibrato everything that can be vibratoed, but now there's an instant, the effect is here for me. So how I usually use it is like in very small amounts with very slow rates. I don't want to like notice that it's like I just want it to be kind of subtly drifty. But it's there now. No one made a big deal about this in the like advertising for this, but I'm super pumped about this. I heard that it was updated, but this is a great update. So let's move along and check out the other ones, because they did this to another one of these effects that I always hated as well. That's a little strong word. I shouldn't say that. All effects are good. Just this one wasn't very good. The phaser and flanger, which are now united into one plugin, which makes perfect sense because they're the same thing. These are all variations on like they're what are called modulation effects. They work on different principles, but essentially create the same kind of a thing. Like a chorus, a phaser, a flanger, are all kind of sort of doing the same thing. I wonder if their description is here. Oh yeah. So the difference is in the way that they generate their modulated and shifted sounds. So like the chorus works by adding time modulated delayed signals, whereas a phaser works by adding phase shifted signals, resulting in wandering notch filters. So let's hear that in action. What a nice illustration of this too. Oh, it's too bad the chorus got a really nice update on the push, but the phaser and flanger for some reason, maybe it's just because there's more going on in here, but it did not get the same update. So, oh well. So that's cool. So we can directly affect the number of notches up to what? 42. All right, you know what we got to do. Oh, I love it. You can have it avoid the low frequencies. This one does get tempo sync. What a strange sound. It's pretty far from where we started. I'd love to like invert the polarity of that. Can I do that? Is that... Okay, this is getting silly. I'm gonna delete that and start over. So let's check out the flanger then. So what's the difference between the phaser and the flanger? So phaser, phase shifted signals. Flanger, time modulated delayed signals with feedback. Oh man, this is like, these all come from like different like physical circuits where these were all like hardware effects at some point, and like people had to figure out how to make things sound funky. I love these little visual feedback touches though. This is a really nice nice design choice here. So let's hear what the flanger is doing. The flange effect was originally created, it's a tape-based effect, where it's called a flanger because like a tape reel that spins around, the flange is like the outer reel of the metal, and you can slow down the tape by touching the flange. So when you, and if you played that in sync with another like with a tape, with another tape deck playing the same exact track, then you get this kind of like shifting effect, which you're about to hear right here. This visualization's a little basic compared to the phaser one. Not much to show, I guess. Oh, we haven't even gotten into this though. Uh-oh. Real quick though, let's check out the doubler. So the doubler, time modulated delayed signals. That sure sounds like a chorus to me. Oh my god. Oh, heck yes. So this is another cool effect. This is a really common like early kind of audio engineering trick that a lot of people learn that typically is not like there's not like a provided for you an effect. You usually have to like kind of like set it up yourself in a way. So what this is doing is it's like just adding a second copy of the track and delaying it by a set amount. 20 milliseconds in this case. The reason why it's quieter when that's on, even though there's a second copy, is that because they're shifted slightly, so they're phase canceling, and so you're losing some detail and losing some information. So I can change this time. It sounds like a chorus while it's moving, right? But when it's still, just like a little slapback effect. So you can slip that in with a little warmth. A little dirt in there, I like that. But then like what's really interesting here is when you start adding modulation here. So this is our LFO that's going to modulate the time. And that's where we get a chorusing kind of sound. It's echoing because it's delays. So I'm adding a bunch of delays. Yow. Sorry about that. Should have known better. Anyways, the other thing, the thing that's really interesting over here is this whole other section. There's a whole other thing going on. So what the heck is happening here? We have these like more interesting kind of Lfo shapes, which have a bunch of like interesting parameters. You can oh, weird. Oh, sweet. So you can take the phaser and make it stereo now here. So it's just more, okay, I get it. So like, Yeah, I'm not actually sure how to assign these things, which is interesting. I'm not sure what this LFO is modulating, though. Oh, it's the position, huh? Oh, fun. So it looks like this is LFO 1. And then this down here is LFO 2. That's kind of confusing. So now you can have a mix of them. So you can have, like, I have one set to a rectangle and one set to a sine. So you can have it, like, modulating with a sine and then jump around every so often. That's kind of a trippy effect. It's pretty neat. Having fun so far. So what's new over here? Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to the good stuff yet. Um, oh yeah, another little quality of life thing. A bunch of the Max for Live parameters that are fun to mess with are now here, including like the LFO, where you can map this thing to turn knobs for you. You might want to like see this, make this thing growl. Easy peasy. Love this thing. Neat. So the thing I want to check out in particular are the Spectral Resonator and Spectral Time. So let's get into Spectral Time. I'm gonna put this on the drum track. So I don't really know what these do for some kind. Oh yeah, we should listen to this track probably. Oh no, I don't want to listen to that one. I want those. Well, we can listen to this, I guess. So what this thing is doing is it's breaking the sound apart into its spectral components and smearing them in time. Whether this is an effect that we like, I don't know how. We'll see. Let's see. Whoa. Fun. So smearing, doing all kinds of weird things with the grains and sprays of the stuff. Whoa. Kind of like a endless rising kind of a vibe. Spectral Delay. I'm not sure like how I'd use this, but I think it's sort of thing where you'd start playing with it and find some sweet spots. That's how the grain delay was for me. There's like certain things that I was like, oh yeah, it works great for this kind of effect, you know. I'm sure there's something like that in here somewhere. When I check out some of the presets that they've created, I'm gonna kind of miss this kind of like rising thing. I'm gonna save this preset real quick. It's kind of fun. How do we do that now? So this kind of rearrange these a smidge. Save preset. Rising hiss. Custom preset. Anyways, what do they have here? Let's try one of their presets. It's pretty fun. Like a full-on granular smearing thing here. Oh man, okay. This is what I like about it. Okay, great. Okay, so here's my prediction. You will hear this effect in songs now. Like, listen to this. It's so easy and it sounds real trippy. If you listen to like dance music or bass music or anything like that, like you're gonna hear people using this. It's gonna be real recognizable. So let's check out this other spectral effect they have, the Spectral Resonator. So this thing, sick. So, Spectral Resonator is a resonator effect that works on with incoming MIDI notes. So you can do that, or you can have it use its own internal thing. You can select pitches. But I think it could be interesting to like have it monitoring some incoming MIDI. So I'm gonna have it pull the MIDI again from the piano track. But who was that? Who is that guy? Want to say something? So you can like play it. I can see myself using this. So, there's a mono poly switch. So it will take a polyphonic incoming MIDI. So here, as they say so often in the Star Wars prequels, this is where the fun begins. Let's see. So now I have full control over the sound on that resonator from my MIDI controller. So, which is pretty fun. Neat. So like, I'm not really crazy about that like sound that I'm getting out of it. I wish it didn't do this. Like, it's one annoying thing about the push. I want to focus on this track, but it needs my input from the push. But I lose the ability to play that track. Annoying thing. Whatever. We're gonna switch this to auto. So I want to like see if I can get the sound of this different. So let's see what we can do. We can change the number of harmonics. So this is like kind of like the resolution at which it's going to express different sounds. So like. Seems like this high frequency dampening control could be pretty useful. Ah, yeah, baby. And the low frequency dampening would probably be helpful too. So if you can like get this thing going as your basis for your sound, now you have this cool like pitch drop effect built into it. I'm having a good time. Okay, but what if we got this thing to sound cooler? I still don't really like the tone. I want like a better sound, but I think that's what these buttons are about. There's modulation available on the harmonics. There's we can put chorus, random or granular modulation. So let's just like hear what they sound like. Tasty. That's the chorus. That's kind of cool. The Wander one is a little, it's random, but it's like, it's not too weird. Oh, this is great. But I want to play it myself. I wonder if we can get that to like be fuller sounding. Oh man, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this. It's pretty quirky. Okay, I'm done with that effect though. Let's check out. There's something else that is really trippy that I've been wanting to scope out too, which is, well, let's leave this effect up because this was kind of fun sounding. Because I'm going to feed this into this other new effect. There's been a few reverbs in Ableton for a while, but they've added a new one. This was well, here we go. Here's the hybrid reverb. So this, I believe what this is finally they've updated these implementations of their convolution reverb several times. So what a convolution reverb is, it's an algorithmic thing where people go out and take recordings of real spaces. They like they take what's called an impulse response. So I'm not sure. I think you generally generate a pulse of white noise. I think you can do things like I don't know the technical way that it's done, that they're created. But basically, you record this broad spectrum, short burst of noise and then you record the way it decays in a space. And then you can do some math to it, and what you're left with is the sound of the decay of a space. And so we can then apply those sounds to our own sounds using a convolution reverb. So they've implemented these multiple times in Max for Live with increasingly more integrated things, and it looks like they finally just fully wrapped it into a native effect, and that's the hybrid reverb. So the main window here is a convolution. You have this menu of convolution impulse responses, a whole section on springs, which I love. Let's hear this. Awesome stereo spring sounds great. So we're gonna hear the sound of awesome stereo spring on my drums here, or on this thing, I guess. Let's find something snappy. We'll make this snappy again. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love a good spring reverb, and this sounds pretty legit to me. That is a convincing emulation if I've ever heard one. Let's check some of the different models. This one's got a little bit of a slapback built in. Oh my goodness. So if you're not like a sort of a weird fiend for springs, oh, hold on a second, vintage stereo springs. Pretty dark, right? Luckily there's an EQ section over here. I've hated Ableton's reverbs forever, but I think this might be my new favorite reverb. Let's check out some of these other sounds. So like, oh my god, there's a plate section too? Oh my goodness. Yes. You've seen my default template. You've heard me raving about this guy, Soundtoy's Little Plate, which lives on my first return track. But I do like a native solution. Is there modulation? There is not. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Oh, and the algorithmic side. No, we haven't even gotten to that. Anyways. So these are all based on like old school models of different kinds of reverb. So springs, it's like a literal tank with like a spring in it, and it's running sound through a spring. It's flapping around in there. And a plate reverb is like running a sound through a big plate of metal, and you mic that up and record it. So there's like different ways to get reverb spaces, but there's also some like actual rooms, real places. So like here's like, is there anything that we'd recognize here? Huh. I don't recognize any of these names. I was hoping for like Notre Dame or something. But here is the Ancient Sapiens Carved Cave. Here's the Ableton Studio. I'm just going to flip through a few of these and listen to them. No, I feel like these, like, the actual spaces don't sound that different to me. I mean, they're different. But essentially kind of boils down to like a kind of decay characteristics and like an EQ curve. Like how like bright or dark is it? Like how much space does it have? Like how long does it last? But you can use these more experimental things too. They spelled warehouse wrong. Silly Germans. These experimental ones are pretty fun though. Anyways. What? So I apologize, we've been listening to this and we've been hearing a blend between the two algorithms here. So that's why things have been sounding kind of the same, because they have been sounding the same. I didn't understand that's how this was set up. So the thing that's crazy about the hybrid reverb is that there's two sides to the reverb. There's this convolution IR side, and there's this algorithm side. So so if we go and listen to our tasty plates, we'll hear some more distinction between like a plate sound and more distinction between the different rooms. You can hear, if anyone's listening on headphones, you'll hear the stereo characteristics change. If you close your eyes, just imagine the place that you're in as you're hearing it. It really helps to have headphones, but you can imagine like the texture of the walls changing or the size of the room changing. So that's all super interesting and all well and good. But the thing that makes this reverb super trippy and what a real powerhouse of a thing is that it has this whole other side. So this stuff's all new. So like these older things, there's been these like convolution reverbs for a while. Like I was saying, where are they even? They used to have some like more features. There was like this one that you could draw, like had more, like a ton more impulse responses and some more things going on with it. I never thought it sounded great though. Maybe I never spent that much time with it, but I was never super impressed with the sound of this thing. Maybe I should have spent more time with it though. Oh well. We're I'm pretty happy with this thing. So the other side of it is algorithmic reverb. So this is more like reverbs that people are typically used to. So I'll flip it over to blend it to the other side. Turn this thing off, right? Oh, I can turn the... Okay. So anyway, so there's a few different algorithms that we can use to blast this thing through too. And it's got all these kind of normal reverb kind of settings. Everything sounded kind of like a dark hall before because we were hearing all through that. So let's check out the algorithms. Interesting. So they have this like, they have some like shifting parameters here in these different ones. So like shimmer basically adds a pitch shifting delay like into the thing. So most commonly it's used to like generate octave up kind of sounds. Compare that to Dark Hall. When you change the size of the distance or the size of the reverb. You get that sound. It's kind of a fun modulated reverb. Tides, what the heck? Oh, it's like doing some sort of like fun. I wish I understood what it was doing. Sure like it. All right, so there's one more algorithm. It's Prism. Neat. So anyways, those aren't so super distinctive to me, but I'm sure that I'll get more adapted to them as I get used to them. So yeah, really interesting options. Dear Lord. Fun. What is? Oh yeah. Okay, I'm hearing the. I'm like, what is this thing? I'm hearing the Max for Live folder. I've downloaded a ton of Max for Live plugins over time. This folder is just enormous. I don't know what hardly any of these are. Let's check out one more like weird, like sort of time-based thing real quick. I found this guy. There's this plugin called Tree Tone. I guess it needs to be a MIDI track, huh? Oh, it's I guess it replaces it as a, huh, it only works as an instrument. Interesting, okay. That's bizarre. Because the way it's used. Can I not? Oh, change. Undo change. It's undo. Oh, it creates a bunch of weird undo history when you drop it in because it generates some stuff. So I'll plop it in on a new track. So this thing is really quirky. You'll notice it's growing a little tree here. So this tree is now like a resonator that we can use to take incoming audio, like say from, take this drum loop. I'm not sure what this has to do with the thing I'm feeding it. So it seems to not like getting this like large amount of low end. I don't know about that. What a strange thing. I'm tweaking knobs and you're trying to figure out if I could even explain what I'm hearing having happen here, but don't think I can. You can also use this thing to just generate things on its own. And you can lock it to scale. It's kind of fun. The like soundscape generator. And I really like the sound of it growing new things. Pretty fun. Anyways, we were playing around with this like a little bit ago, and I wanted to show you y'all a cool thing I found using a new device. Where did that thing go? Where did that thing go? Figure out where to put it. Bouncy Notes. Okay, so get ready for this. This one is the strangest thing. So this thing I think is like a, well, you get what's happening. So when I play a note, so yeah, you can do all kinds of weird things with it. So basically it's a little physics simulator where every time it gets a note, it does something with physics with it. So you can have it like kind of bounce to a random direction, or you can have them kind of lean in a certain direction. So like I kind of like the sound of them like kind of ascending was kind of fun. Oh, I got the physics going pretty hard there. So this is pretty crazy sounding. Oh my god. You can quantize it, which is kind of fun. So if we have like playback going, you can make these all, make sure that they're actually like nice, tidy, like 16th notes. I wish I could figure out how to make them like bounce off the wall better. How do we? Oh yeah, so you can get into. It's so tucked away. This little menu. You click on the little. I get to hear this thing the whole time now, which is kind of fun. Generating little nice tones in the background. We'll see if those live reverbs beat Little Plate for me. So, what key did I set this thing to? It's A. So we're going to go through and set this thing to A too. So I want to set it to the A major scale. So tonic, A. And I'm going to kind of restrict its range. So now it should only play notes in key. Didn't really feel like it did that. Do you understand what I mean by maybe I need to set it on A1 as a tonic? Yeah, there you go. So you can like have them like last less long or have fewer voices. Or like automatically like drop balls. So the thing that I thought was kind of cool, like raise gravity up and raise the mass up. This really doesn't feel like it's sticking to a scale to me. Yeah, there's no A sharp in the key of A. Or A minor. It's weird, it was working before. I set up this other preset to do something with this, but I kind of like it. So I got it doing this weird thing. So I'm just playing random notes, like, I'm not even playing notes in this scale. Or yes I am, huh? Let's see if I can make this thing work better too. Like, let's Oh yeah, okay, cool. Here we go. So I'm gonna like push, like you can nudge like the wind to the right and kind of like choose how far it jumps. It's kind of interesting. You can do all kinds of weird crap with it though. Anyways, yeah, this is a super quirky little device. Oh, I'm getting blown up on the Instagram. Who is that? Hollering upon me. Oh, it's Mike. Hi, Mike. So let's get it to go a little further. A little bouncy, this one. Anyways, you can get all just kinds of like weird effects with it. What I liked was like getting this like. I gotta change the key over here. Change tonic to A. So this was working. That's so weird. It didn't work on the other one. Must have some setting on here that I don't understand. I know I usually try and end up with these streams with some kind of music, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight. Sorry to disappoint y'all if you want to hear a real banger. What I like about this is like, depending on how hard I push it, it'll play something different. So it is like sort of controllable. So I really like this effect. Like, it's very musical feeling. Where if I like give it a, if I tap it lightly, it's like bloop. And if I give it a long press or hit it hard, it does like, so it feels like I can like control it. Music, you know, like. Fun. I really like that. Okay. Oh yeah. I want to check out one more thing. This is not from this list, but this is did I actually download this thing and install it correctly? Or did I just leave it here in my downloads folder like a dummy? Trying to remember the name of this M4L device. I wish they would like sort these by like date added. They don't do that for some reason. So I have to go look through like, which one is it? This thing. So let's see. Is this thing gonna work right though? It's not gonna just work on command, is it? So what the thing is supposed to do is let me swipe my touch strip here on the push and use it to strum chords. There's a few different solutions that I've found for this. It's based on this idea of an instrument called the omnichord, hence this name omnipush. But for some reason, it's not taking input from what I've got going on here. And I'm not sure why, and I'm not going to take your time trying to figure it out. It's another thing for another time. All right, let's see if there's anything else weird that we can get into here. I haven't even touched on some of like the other strange features. Like I'm just playing around with the effects. The effects are pretty cool, and like probably the thing that I'll get the most mileage out of. But there is something like pretty cool that like maybe bears some talking about. So let's kill a couple birds with one stone and try and make some music and also talk about this feature. So I'm going to set up a track resampling the tree tone so that we'll get some audio that we can play with later. Oh, look at this scroll bar down here. That's new. So we're going to arm that. And then I also am going, let's see if we can make this work with my push connected. Can I do that here? Yeah, okay, cool. So I want to like play another instrument. I want to play this guy, I think, with my... Let's change it to a softer sound. So check this out. I'm gonna demonstrate some. I'm gonna do some take recording, I think. Oh, I really did a big dummy screw up. Anyone who knows see that I've accidentally been resampling that entire thing. So I need to record that again. Instead of resampling, I need to be taking the audio from Tree Tone. But cool, so I'm gonna demonstrate this thing. So I just want to record again. So I'm pretty sure. Does that then? Oh, yeah, if I'm recording over here, we're gonna see if this works the way I think it works. So I don't want to overdub. I just want to see take lanes. How do I see those? So there's this new feature where, oh yeah, cool, great. You can now record, it's called comp tracks or session comping. So you can now record multiple takes of audio on one audio track. This is my #1 complaint about Ableton. I have been complaining and whining on forums and for forever about this feature. It's something that every modern piece of audio software does. And it's so bonkers to me that they have not managed to include it until now, and that it's a paid upgrade. But anyways, it's here. And it works for MIDI too. So our lives are just great now. So I recorded this take of this thing, and I'm just going to record another take directly over it. Here we go. See if I can. Okay, that one's not very super inspired. But maybe I'll come up with a really beautiful outro here. Okay, whatever. So I just recorded over that thing. But wait, I think if I select show take lanes, it's actually logging every single time I hit record. And now check this out. This is the cool part. Well, first off, that take 2 was was a bust, so I'm gonna delete that one. But now my actual track is, you can see my track is blue and take 3, which is now take 2, is blue. But we can actually pick and choose between these 2 takes to create a comp track, and we can do that with the pencil tool. So with our pencil tool out, and probably our grid turned off, we can then paint the parts we want and the parts we don't. So it's I'm gonna use I'm gonna cut that note off early and switch to this part here. Yeah, so now my actual final take is a composite of stuff from the 2 of them. My goodness. Don't I? Oh. Why is this track silent? That is the darndest thing. Because I docked up, that's why. So here's my comp together MIDI track. I'm so happy about this. This is gonna be such a lifesaver in terms of my sessions always get so messy. They're hideous and complicated and full of container tracks. Because previously what we had to do is duplicate and create an extra track every time we wanted to do another take. Blah, drive me crazy. So and then maybe we'll move this MIDI over, just, oh, not the whole thing. So you can edit each lane separately too. So I can edit like this takes up and like, and if that's the part that's coming out, then boom. So yeah, we'll probably be seeing a lot more of that feature in coming streams because I do like to get the best take. I'm curious if there's a shortcut to show and hide these. Looks like Command Shift U. Is that it? Is that what I'm seeing there? No, Command Option U. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, if you use Ableton, there's a whole suite of commands that if you hold either Control and Option or Command and Option if you're on a Mac, that you can show and hide different parts of the UI. And U is the one that shows take lanes. So you can also like show and hide the browser, like the mixer, or like what else? The return tracks, or yeah, there's a few of them. Oh yeah, this thing up top, the overview. I often hide this because I don't pay attention to this thing much. So you can Command or Control Option O shows and hides that thing. Pretty cool. Yeah, sounds galore in here. So like we're sort of like creating a thing, and it sounds kind of like an ambient thing. Let's dig into like a couple of these packs real quick, and we'll like call this our song. This is our 1 minute song that we're making. Maybe this will be a stream intro or something like that. I don't know if y'all heard our cool streaming intro, but maybe we'll, if you stick around to the end, you get to hear it again. So that's some incentive. I made a really sick sound for it that you will be delighted for. So okay, let's check out one of these new packs. I've heard that voice box is pretty cool. So we're gonna get out one of the instruments. We're gonna get out vocal percussion, maybe snappy vowelizer. So these are probably drum racks with like. I like when they build delay in them automatically. I don't think this is right for what we're doing. So maybe instead of vocal percussion, we're going to check out harmonic vocal racks. No, let's check out some chromatic voices. We're going to check out transformed voices. Pocketing voice Ave. That sounds fun. Too much rhythm. Gosh, there's so many macros also. This is freaking me out. Just happens to be in the same key as our thing right now, which is kind of fun. Yeah, let's add some of this. I don't think this is what we're going for either. Some weird stuff in here. I like how these are named after people. Well, this guy's a great singer. Really low voice. Those are kind of neat. So those are the basic ones. What are the choral ones? Aww. These are new to 11. This choral pack. So this is a new set of sounds. There's a whole grip of new packs actually. That I'm only scratching the surface of, because I'm trying to give a big overview of different sorts of things. What are some of those new ones though? Like yes, these Spitfire audio ones. Weird. I see Spitfire right there in the name, but when I search Spit, it doesn't. Very strange. Anyways, supposedly these the string quartet sounds are pretty cool. I haven't checked these out yet. There's like a wind instruments as well. Wow. So they've had like orchestral sounds in here for a while. You can compare this to their string ensemble sound from the past. I'm getting the disc overload. Well, first off, these are huge samples. These are reading off my little card reader. So it's like these always sound good, but like it's not really. It doesn't really feel like production ready. Whereas that just sounds like, bro, I'm probably gonna uninstall that other pack. Like, I don't ever use those. Actually, I've used the bass sounds from that thing before, which I think those sound like pretty good from the orchestral strings pack. If anyone's heard my score for Random Thoughts, that animation has a lot of those sounds in it. There are no good voice sounds in Live 10, to answer your question, unfortunately. So, yeah. I guess if you really like using choir sounds, there's a good reason to upgrade. Oh yeah, so there's a new upright piano sound, which is a kind of random instrument to include. So easy to accidentally hit that thing, Jay, like I was talking about. It's my pinky like going off on it. Pretty cool. I'm not like instantly like in love with it, but it's cool. So yeah, there's all kinds of other stuff too. Yeah, so there's like this pack called Spectral Textures, which has just like let's see if we can find some like random things. So these are like based on field recordings, I'm pretty sure. That's what it says on the tin. Oh, I love stuff like that. It's got like some like panned field recorded noise rolling around in there. Sort of thing where you can really only give it one note before it starts to get like kind of crazy. Let's try a synth. Curious. I don't use a lot of the built-in sounds in Ableton, personally. But if I found ones I liked more, I would probably. I'm still sure that I'd ever like if I was gonna use something like this, I'd probably make it myself. Out of some sounds that like were like more personal to me. I kind of like that, like these are cool. And if I was like, man, this is the sound I hear in my head, I'd use it. But I'm usually more like just trying to like experiment and find something neat, and I'm usually using things that are a little more like personal, like recordings I've made or something like that. Oh yeah, this might be the last of like the big features of sound, and maybe a place that we could like leave it off because this thing's gonna get real wacky real quick. I apologize if I didn't get to anything that any of you many viewers out there wanted to see. But this thing I just was super curious about, and it might take a second to even figure out what it does. I think I'm gonna say goodbye to our track for now and just like get back to a loop, so we can kind of like hear what this thing does, because this is like the strangest plugin. Oops, should probably put it on the right track. Good. So I don't even know where to begin with this thing, explaining what I think it's supposed to do. I think I just gotta start playing with it. So let's just check it out. So this thing is supposed to be just kind of like an effects modulator for like just mucking things up real good. So it seems to be adding some like trippy delays, like granular maybe. Fun. So it's like granular synth playback, so it's kind of like moving around and grabbing different portions of the sample. Wonder if I can quantize any of this action. Oh, why do those become unlinked? Oh. If I edit the top one, they're linked, and if I edit the bottom one, they're not. Kind of convenient. Kind of weird. Okay, I need some help here with this thing. I need a preset. Weird. Let's try some different ones here. It's called. Oh. So it's shifting things around, grabbing random grains. It looks like this middle display here is like trying to indicate something about the playback position along the grain lines. I don't know. This one's labeled as a drum effect. I'm skeptical. Uh-oh. This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them. We're pretty far from where we started. Cool. There's all sorts of wackadoodle stuff in here. Yeah, I think I've really only scratched the surface of like what all's going on in here. I haven't even touched on the new features in the piano roll because we've been kind of doing freeform noise making. But I think maybe next time we're gonna get into that because there's a lot going on here in terms of like adding some like there's probability features and there's some new sounds. So maybe we'll try and make some sort of like probability oriented kind of composition next time. And try and show off some of those things, and I'll take some time to play with it at home too, and come to you with some interesting ideas. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked to like poke around and find some of these new features. If you're curious, I'm running live Suite in here, so this is the full version with all of the features and all, you know, like maybe even too many features sometimes. If you have standard, you'll be missing a handful of these things. I think I'm not sure exactly which ones. All info's on the website and stuff. Yeah, but I hope this deep dive was somewhat interesting, and if you're on the fence about getting 11, maybe this will help you make a decision one way or the other. I feel like maybe now's a good time to sign off, and I'll be exploring these things on my own and getting back to you with what I find, and we'll get back to making some more directed music next time. But yes, thanks for checking it out. Thanks for tuning in. Saw some good numbers earlier, and I really appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to follow or subscribe, depending on where you're watching from, and we'll catch you next week. We'll be here at 5 every week until they shut us down. So see you next time.